Video time! Welcome back to Games with C++. So this is part 33 in the series. Last video we got collision detection working. In this video we're going to work on gravity. Project file. Yeah, and I've got some updates here. How many? 208 updates. I'm not doing that again. No thanks. Don't update if your system works. If it works, don't fix it. You might say, Marty, you don't like any updates. But that isn't true. There's only one good update. And that's from going from Windows to Linux. Alright, here's the game where we had it last time. You may notice that the guy's actually jittering a little bit. And that's because we got an issue with time. So right now with the way we're doing things is we measure the elapsed time between each frame and we multiply it by our speed. So that this way, if we're running at a slower frame rate, we get a longer time between each frame and then thus faster movement for the player to compensate for the slow frame rate. In theory, it works, but in reality, it doesn't. The reason that is first of all, I think the API has a bug with that. Sometimes our delta time will actually return a memory address. If we go to main.cpp, we can actually just print out std:/cout, and this is inside our while window.isOpen loop, cout, and then delta time. And of course, ending the line because it looks pretty bad if we didn't. So you'll notice in our console here that it's kind of flickering between numbers. So we're actually looking for something that's inconsistent. We're looking for some inconsistent behavior. I don't seem to be finding what. It was just right here. It was. I know it is. I guess it's not doing that anymore. But anyways, I had run into some issues with it doing that. I don't know why. Secondarily, the reason it jitters like that is because let's open up player.cpp and scroll down. When we move, which is right here, we're multiplying by delta time. Now, the way a computer screen works is it doesn't work with the floats. It works with only the good old integers. Your screen is done in integers because it's a definite amount. It doesn't have any in between. Like in a float, you can have like 1.f, 1.5. In your computer screen, you only have one, and then there's the second pixel. We're trying to move based off of that, so it doesn't really know what to do when it kind of has an in-between value for when we move our x. So I think that's why we're getting the jittering. Now, one option is we could cast this into an int. That just gets complicated. There's a way better system. We can simply remove this delta time crap and good wholesome goodness. Of course, remove casting to an integer because that is no longer required. We can remove it altogether if we just limit our frame rate, which is probably the smart thing to do. So if we go into main.cpp here, and right here we can go window.set frame rate and limit. So this will actually set our frame rate limit. You can also use vsync. There's a call to vsync that basically just checks what's the native refresh rate for the monitor, and then it just uses that. But we're just going to roll with 60 because mine is 60. So what this is going to do, it's going to limit it so that we only get 60 updates per second or 60 renders per second. So 60 iterations of this loop. Now this way, when we actually cap our frame rate, we're not going to be rendering too fast, which would make our player move at pretty fast movement. So you say, Marty, well, what if the computer can't handle 60 frames per second, which is true. I think the best option would probably be just ask the user, just let the user decide. Do you want 60? Do you want 30 or 144? So then the second thing is, okay, well, if we set all of our values to work with 60 frames per second, what if the user lowers to 30? 30 is half of 60, so we can just reduce all of our movements by half speed, so that works too. This is probably the smart route, so we're going to remove all of the delta time stuff. This was the issue I was having with sprites. So we can take out delta time because we do not really need it, and we take out this because we don't need it either. Go to player.cpp, and now we're going to have to take out delta time for here because it no longer exists. Go over to player, so include player.hpp. And of course, we're going to have to take out delta time. So let's go back to player.cpp. I like to actually arrange it like this. So now we're going to have to lessen our movement by about 100%. Control save. And this should give us the same functionality aside from it being broken. Oh, yeah, there we go. So we got to take that out because it no longer exists. So this actually, it's a better way. You'll notice we are moving fast, but we are moving at a consistent fast rate. So this means that also we aren't speeding up and slowing down as our computer speeds up and slows down. Perfect. Let's actually lessen that. I think I'm going to bring that, where am I? player.cbp, I'm going to bring that down to like something like 2. Alrighty, that's more reasonable and looks good. Now the second thing is gravity. So let's go to main.cbp and we're going to actually create some variables. There we go. Just adjusting the size so that it's a little easier to read. I don't know. I just always appreciated it with other tutorials when they made the text as big as they can make it, because I had YouTube on the one side, then I have my text editor on the other side, and it was easier to follow. So I figured pass down the tradition. So we're going to create some integers. I don't think we need them const because we could mess around with gravity later on. It's cool effects. So let's just leave them as not const. So these are going to be floats. So the first one is going to be accel gravity. So this is the rate that gravity accelerates at, because of course in real life, if you drop a cup of water, it doesn't start falling as fast as it possibly can. It accelerates to get there. We're going to need another one. This is going to be float max gravity. So now to get our variables, which exist right here, over into our .cbp file, our player.cbp file, we can request that the compiler, instead of creating a variable here, it just hooks it up with what is over here. We should initialize these. I don't really know what to initialize these at because, well, I mean, it's going to take a little bit of fiddling to get this quite right. Let's just say our acceleration gravity is 0.5 and our max gravity is 0 or just 5.f. Now to get these global variables over here, we can actually just recreate those variables by going float. Use the same exact name. So if we go accel gravity, which was the name we had, and float max gravity. Instead of creating a new variable here, we can actually just reference the old one. To do that, we just mark our float as extern, which means it's an external float. So the reason we do this is we're going to have our gravity function. Like, our gravity is going to apply to a lot more things than just ourselves. It's going to apply to our arrows. All right, so now we need to scroll down and work on our maths and logics a little bit. So in collision, one thing I forgot to do was we need to set our x, or velocity dot x, equal to 0 if we collide with the left or right sides. The reason we do this is right now when we collide, we actually, I'm just going to show you what I mean in a second here. So if we collide here, our x velocity is not actually equaling 0. It's just we're positioning ourselves right here. So thinking ahead, we can solve that problem. If we collide, we're going to set our velocity equal to 0, which is probably the right way to go. 0.f. Same thing needs to apply for y. So velocity.y equals 0.f for this one as well. Velocity. Man, I can't spell velocity at all. Alright, looking good so far. Next, let's create a variable to test if we're on the ground. So go to player.hbp, bool on ground is what we're going to call it. Control save, go over to player.cbp, and now we can actually set on ground to true. If our y velocity is greater than 0, meaning we're falling down, well then on ground will be true because we should be on the ground, equals true. So once we actually collide, it's going to set to true. So we need to actually reset it in case it's false. So we can actually default reset it right here. So you may say, okay, wait, why are we doing this here? We're going to assume we're in the air always until we actually check for a collision. So when it comes down the first time, it's going to go, okay, on ground is false no matter what. And then if we do our logics up here, it's going to work fine because it's going to say, okay, it's true. If it actually is true, it's going to set it to true on this line. Then if it's true, then we use these logics here. So if we go with that order, it will actually work fine. Let's just test if it works to be sure. So let's go std : cout on ground and end that line with the semicolon. All right, and it works pretty effectively. Good. All right, now let's do some logic. What if we actually are on the ground? I mean, so instead of if just W, first let's take out S because we're not crouching quite yet. If W and you'll see a lot of people, instead of just going like this, they'll go with 2 ampersands. I don't really mind people using the ampersand part. I don't really mind that. What I do mind is people who use the 2 pipe characters, because that just looks so ugly. Like, what? You can really use or instead. Like, either or work. It's just I prefer more English here. Maybe it's just me, but I think it makes it a little clearer of what's happening. So if we need 2 conditions to be met. If W, so if we're pressing up and we're on the ground, then we're going to set velocity.x equal to, let's go with a -5. Let's set our jump height. So go to player.hpp. We're going to create a float. Acceleration shouldn't be there. It's because I was coding ahead a little bit and then I forgot to take it out. So anyway, don't worry about that. We're going to call this jump, and then height. Over in player.cpp, we want to initialize that. So let's just initialize it right here. Let's set jump and then height equal to, let's just say 5, control save, scroll down, and then we can set our velocity equal to our jump height multiplied by 1, -1, so that we can actually go upwards, because negative is up and then down is positive. So this will convert this 5 into a -5. So we got to go jump height. Alrighty, pretty straightforward. Control save. So now we need to go if. So if on ground equals false. So what if we're in the air? In that case, we got to use some squirrely braces, because you don't have to use squirrely braces if you have a one-liner. If you got more than one line, then you got to use squirrely braces. So if we're in the air, let's add to our velocity. So let's accelerate by going velocity dot y plus equals, yeah, that's right, I think, plus equals the accel gravity. So our gravity accelerator. Now we need to go if to clamp this variable. So if velocity dot y is greater than the max gravity, then we can just set velocity dot y equal to the max gravity, and that works perfect. And now we just need to take out the logic that dealt with if we weren't pressing the buttons, because it's already taken care of right here. And that alone should do it, I should think. And it works beautifully. The mechanics work more or less. That is a bit too fast. So let's reduce our jump height. If we reduce our jump height, we can reduce our gravity. So let's reduce jump height to 4, and let's change our gravity. I think, I don't mind the max gravity, it's just this gravity, I think. So let's change that to 2. And we also got to save this, and that should do it. These here, it's more just tinkering until you feel what's right for your game, and that is still too high. Okay, we're gonna roll with that. He's doing little baby jumps, but fair enough, fair enough. Alrighty, we got ourselves gravity. We got pretty much all the mechanics, like the basic mechanics down pat. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have a question or a comment or anything things to say, just let me know in the comment section. If you enjoyed, code like, and I'll see you next video. You have a good one.